Alright, this is going to be take two of messing with the brake lines. I got a few more tools. I'll go over them here in a second, but decided to start chilling in the Monty a little bit. Trying to picture out how I want to do all the trim pieces and everything, and I don't know. I still up for debate. Right now everything's painted black, which kind of ties in with everything, especially like the doors and all that. But the dash, I definitely want to wrap that. So, depending if I want to leave the trim pieces or wrap them, or just wrap the dash or not. Still got to get it back. So the gauge cluster, all that stuff, that made it to the company or to the guy. So I'm pretty sure he'll get started on that soon. Other than that, just need to order the dash from him, or the digital dash from him also, before he sends it back. So save a little bit on shipping probably. But other than that, interior, like I said, once the dash and the gets back in, button up all this wiring. But in the neighborhood, he just sent me the stereo or the deck he has that was on sale, the floating dash or the floating screen that I'm looking for. So might order that here in a little bit. But before all that, I'll go over some of the new stuff I got for the brake lines to give it a shot. So, well, that doesn't apply to it just yet, but that's for the proportioning valve. Got a few different things from Harbor Freight. So, got this tubing bender and this brake line forming tool. So, this might be a little bit better for tighter bends. And then this is kind of a replacement of this one. So, we'll see how they work. And I know I have one, but it was like $6, so I was like, let me get the little bit larger cutter. So I picked that up. I think these were about $10 each, $8 or $9 each. So why not just get both? Got some wire coat hangers, so they should help me determine some of the angles and the lengths a little bit better. So I'm not having to waste a bunch of the tube. But yeah, I'm going to open these up, and I think I'm going to practice a little bit on the pieces already started messing up. So I'll grab those pieces right there and just start messing with these benders and seeing how they work, if they work a little bit better than this or not. And the cutter also, like I said, I know I have another one. I'm going to find it as soon as I finish. But it also has a deburring little tool in there too, so it should be good there. And I'm not going to worry about flaring the ends just yet. I'm going to see if I get it bent to shape and leave enough. Like I said, if it's too close, I won't do that final bend. I'll leave it straight and then slip the fitting on there and then take them to go get flared. But if it's too close, like I said, if it's like that on the final bend or something, I'll wait to get it flared. But if I have enough room, I'll go ahead and bend it. But yeah, it's going to start practicing a little bit. Like I said, I do have this one, and I might use, well, yeah, this is the shape coming off the proportioning valve, so I might try to duplicate this bend here. And I think from here on up, I'm gonna have to change this angle so it's not as far up, but we'll see. That's why I got the coat hangers. I figured I could bend these a lot more and go through a lot more of these for a lot less than if I were to keep bending the actual tube itself and coming up short or wasting materials. So it's kind of the setup I have going on for that. Probably won't record too much until I get it figured out. Once I get it figured out, I might do the first one and then the second line, which is still on there, the 1/4 inch. I'll probably try to record that or have it on a time lapse or something, but I'll keep you guys updated on what works for me, if I get it or if I don't. And we'll go from there. But it's a little chilly out here, so I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna get back to it. Yeah, so these are definitely gonna be a lot better than this one. Just practice bends, but on this one, so you have a lot more straight sections. If you're doing tighter turns or anything, this one won't work. But if you're doing, I said pretty tight turns, this will work. But if you're doing really tight turns, I suggest this one. This one's not the best, but it's still gonna allow you to bend it without kinking the tubing or anything. So yeah, should be a little bit better. But let me get the coat hangers, start shaping them, or start bending them to shape, and see the length I need, and try to get some type of shape on the piping so we can get some brakes on the car. Because once the brakes are on, throw the windows in, and like I said, right now it's a colder time of the year, so depending on the weather outside, once I know I have brakes at work and put a different tune on it, we'll take her on the block. I won't get on it too hard or anything, but I definitely want to see it out of the garage, moving under its own power. I think we have first brake line, so hopefully that's enough room in that bend that I'll be able to put the fitting on there and still have the flare tool go on there. If not, I might have to rebend the whole thing again. But the wire did help a lot, the coat hanger. It did help out a lot. I think really I just started with the first part. I had somewhat of an idea of the bend, but it definitely helped with the length of it. I'll use another one for the next line. But what I did after I had the bottom part started, I took one of the fittings and put in the proportioning valve. So that way I knew, well, I could stick the tube in there and know where I had it. Also took a piece of tape down there and put a mark on the angle I wanted, so I knew where to line it up down there to reference where I wanted it up here. And then just made a few bends here and there. I think there's one bend, that's gonna be tough to say. Had to bend it back that way a little bit, and then you see a slight bend here, another bend here, and then the two final bends there. So there's a little bit of play in there, or a little wiggle room, which should be good. So the next step is I'll leave this one, I'll leave this one intact, and then I'll start on the next one. So I'll do the same thing. I'll take, let's see. So I'll take the other one, which is this is the 1/4 inch. So that was a 3/16. Thicker one's a 1/4 inch. So I'll start off with this basic bend here from the proportioning valve on up to about here. And on the last one, I bent it a little bit sooner, because if I go this far, that's going to stick it out farther or past the point I want on the master cylinder. So I started bending it a little bit closer up. So I'll replicate this section with the coat hanger. Obviously, I think this one will be a little bit longer, so I need a little bit more coat hanger. So start with this section, bend it about here, and then from there I'll figure something else out. But yeah, I'm no expert, still learning on this stuff. I know it doesn't need the coils, but obviously I'm not going to throw them in there. It's above my pay grade or skill level. So I think this straight, or just these couple bends, is going to be okay. Like I said, there's room in it. I think the coils are for the suspension and everything, so there's still a little bit of room in here. The tubes are still a little bit flexible, so I'm not worried about it having to stretch at all or anything, so we're good there. Like I said, I'm going to move on to the next one. I'll do the same thing. I'll get that first bend started, and then with the coat hanger, I'll put one of the fittings in on the proportioning valve, so that way I have a reference point on where the line's going to go. And then down here, the reason I'm keeping this line on is the reason I took the other one off. It was hitting the old line, so with this one on, I could tell if I need to raise it up some or lower it, or where it's going to contact this line at. So yeah, I'll use the fitting in the proportioning valve. I'll make a mark on the tape down there on where the second line is going to run, and it'll probably be somewhat similar to this, but I have to keep in mind of the wheel well and everything. Like I said, that still needs to be installed all the way, so be sure to push that up and try to work around that. And then keep in mind, I still need to flare them, so leave some room for it to be flared with the fitting on there. So yeah, let me get started on that. I'll cut you guys back on once I have everything formed. And like I said, I'm not buying one of those cheap flaring tools and then start messing these up. My buddy, he said he has a more expensive flaring tool. So I know stainless steel, I think you get single flared. I don't think you get double flare stainless steel. So I'll take it over there, use his flaring tool for these, find the right fittings for it, and we should be good. Fingers crossed. But let me get started on the second one, and I'll cut you guys back on once that's bent, and we should be good to go from there. The last bend, and I bent it the wrong way. So this was supposed to have a 90 degree going that way. I don't know how it ended up going that way, but yeah, so I'm gonna have to redo that one. This close, the last bend. So yeah, definitely gonna have to figure that out, because I can't bend it back up and then bend it back. I think that might weaken it too much. But I don't know. I kind of want to see if I can, but then I don't want to stretch it out too much. So I'm gonna redo it, but I will. Yeah, I think I'm gonna bend it back up and then try to bend it the correct way and see how that goes. But I know this bend right here, once I bend it back, if I bend it too many times, I'm gonna wear that section out. So I'm gonna bend it back up, try to bend it the right way just to see if that's what I need to do, and then cut another section and rebend the whole thing. But man, that's almost as bad as forgetting to put the fitting on there before you flare it. But it happens, right? So luckily I still have enough of the material left, that, well, more than enough, that I could actually probably do it 4 or 5 more times, but we'll see. Yeah, it's that Colorado for you. Sunny one day, snow the next. But you always got the snow-capped mountains and that garage view. Woo! Yeah, but got a little update for you guys. It's not the prettiest, not symmetrical, but it should do it. I think I might cut this one down a little bit more, but the Harbor Freight cutter, you know, it's a little worn out already, just cutting 4 pieces of, well, messed up twice, so about 8 pieces of stainless steel. It's already worn out, so this one might get cut down a little bit, but obviously once it gets flared and everything, that's about where it'll sit and push down all the way in there. The other side's good, so we're all good here. Both lines are cut, formed a shape. Would have liked to move this one over just a little bit more, but or put one more bend in it, but I think we're good. The master cylinder will come back about 1/8 of an inch, so there'd be enough play to move it back and it'll be all good. So this is how the lines are going to be. Like I said, I might, well, let's see if my buddy has a better cutter and to deburr and everything. So take it over there, get these flared, get the right fittings on the 3/16. So I believe it's 3/16 by 1/2 inch. The thread pitch on there is 1/2 inch, and then the 3/16 line, so the opening. This side's 1/4 inch by 1/2 inch, so we're good there. I'll have to double check on the ones on the bottom. I know the well, do it this way. I know the 3/16 are the same, so those are the same fittings on there. But this one is 1/4 inch by 1/2. This one, I'm not too sure about. Let's see the size difference. So I have one in there now that's fitting in there just fine. So pretty much I just have to take it out and well, no, it works for the 3/16, so it'll be fine. So I'm not sure what the size is. It's one of these smaller ones. I don't think it's quite that small, but you see there's a difference in them. So the one in there now fits good, so I'll just have to get 2 of the 3/16 by 1/2 inch fittings and be good there. So thought it was going to be a little bit harder, but really, I don't know. It's really just getting it cut down to size. Did I need the coat hangers? Probably not, but it did help get the rough shape in there. And then once I copied the first bends off the original hard lines, the ones coming out of the proportioning valve, once I got those angles right, pretty much everything else in this section is just depends on how you want to run it. So yeah, that's about it. Like I said, I don't know if I'll cut you guys on when I go and get the ends flared and find the right fittings or not, but we'll see. But the next step is once they're officially on with the fittings and everything, I have to figure out the adjustment with the, well, I'll have to bench bleed the master cylinder, and then I have to bleed the whole system. And while I'm under there, might as well get the shifter linkage or shifter cable adjusted. Once that's adjusted, once the brakes are bled, I think just wire up the transmission cooler, and that's everything I have to do up under the car. Like I said, the exhaust is all done. Once the brakes are done, transmission cooler's wired, shifter linkage is on, lower the car, put the rear sway bar back on, and I shouldn't have to lift the car up again. Hopefully. I think that's everything. But yeah, that's all I wanted to come out today to do. Or pretty much that's all I had planned for the weekend. So I still have an extra day to relax and not have to be out in the garage. But I'm pretty sure I'll find something to do out here. But yeah, just brake lines are on. Like I said, I had a couple practice pieces. Well, that's what we'll call those. 2 different coat hangers, so they'll all be trash. And I said one more practice piece. So another bed at Elko's looking a little messy. Trying to get the garage a little bit more organized. So like I said, I've been getting rid of a lot of stuff. The next thing I really have to do is get rid of the old PT motor. And once that's out of here, open up a little bit more room. I'll probably have the bike sitting up against that wall during the winter time. Yeah, and like I mentioned in the last one, I think the Blazers, I thought it was leaking oil. That's what it looked like. It's probably just the skid plates. It was running off the oil there, but it's a coolant leak, and I think it's just a hose that runs alongside the block. I saw it dripping the other day, so I think we're good there. Just need to replace that hose, and then the PT. I know a lot of people aren't fans of them. There's a couple of them out there that are Hemi swapped, rear-wheel drive conversion, and I think eventually, not in the near future, but eventually I might go off the what do I want to say? I might go down the rabbit hole and I've been looking at how to do the conversion, how to do the swap, and eventually that might be the plans for this one, is to do either a Hemi or LS swap with a rear wheel drive conversion on the PT, but that's in the future. Let me know if I'm crazy or not, or if I should do it. Like I said, I'm pretty sure you've seen that green one. It's a nice green with like gold or bronze wheels with the Hemi in it. It'd be nice to keep it. Mopar. It's still in the family. It's a distant cousin, but it's Mopar. Or just keep it with the Chevy themes, all the LS, and put an LS in it. Now there's enough room. It'd be a lot of fabrication, but eventually I like to do the swap on the PT. But for now, the money's getting close. It's getting close. And my mom, she just hit me up asking if I could bring one of the cars out to her school the end of March. They're doing a little car show there. Just a little one, so I don't know. Should we see if we can get it ready by then, or just get the Elko out? It'll probably be the Elko, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, or even take the Camaro up there. Who knows? But yeah, that's it. The brake lines are formed, are shaped. This one I'm not a big fan of, but it should work. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I wanted to come out today to do, to see if I could get those shaped right. These I didn't even use. These came in handy. These were nice. Like I said, they're just Harbor Freight ones, but it worked. It was a little bit tougher with the 1/4 inch, or the 1/4 inch stainless steel. It was a little bit harder to bend with that, but you can see that thing is chewed up. Trying to cut through the stainless. This one did all right, or a lot better. You can see the teeth, or the wheel still looks pretty good. This one just chewed it up. Also, when I went to go deburr it, it got pretty bad. So yeah, next time I'll know. And then yeah, like the deburr, you see it's a little messed up. So when I go get it flared, I'll try to clean up the ends of the pipe or ends of the tube, or see if it'll just cut a little bit off. I'm pretty sure he has a better cutter. Cut a little bit off and just deburr it. Throw the fittings on there. Like I said, there should be enough. Well, there's more than enough here to get the fitting on and get the flare tool in there. This one I'm not too sure about, but I know the bottoms, there's enough room. So yeah, this one I probably could have brought in a little bit more to get it away from the header, but I don't think it's too close to it. Yeah, so we're good. We're good. Like I always say, if there's something I haven't done yet that you guys want to see me do, just let me know. Hit me up in the comments or hit me up on Instagram, Dash Garage. And when I get to it, I'll try to pay a little bit more attention to it. But for now, stuff like the exhaust and the brake lines, I'm not a professional at, but I figured it out. So we'll see how they go. I know I have a couple buddies. You guys saw a little bit. He's starting his LS swap on his 79 Monte Carlo. He's been hitting me up for a lot of information and everything. So I get some good advice. I'm not doing high-end builds, budget builds over here. So we'll make it work. Also had another guy hit me up on Instagram. He was selling a 88 T-top. It's in pretty rough condition. And he reached out to me. He was like, hey man, you interested? And I told him, I was like, I don't have the room for it right now. Just wait till I get the driveway extended. So I didn't get it, but I know the guy who did pick it up, and he hit me up seeing if I could help him out on that, which I'm not sure. It was a rough one, and I know I somewhat make it look easy, but there's a lot of work that goes into these things. So if you do get a project, just make sure you're not biting off more than you could chew. But I at least want to go over there, check it out, see the actual condition of it, and well, DoorDash lady's looking hard. But yeah, I at least want to go over there, see the condition of it, and see what it needs. I know he was talking about an LS swap, and I'm like, I get you a parts list, but there's a lot that goes into it, but it is simple at the same time. You could do them on a budget, so that's what I tell people. It's like you can have an Elco swap, or you can have a Monte swap. The Elco's budget friendly, and a Monte, but there's still a little bit that needs to go on in this area. But I think once I get the brakes knocked out, I'll come pay a little bit more attention to the interior on here, and then eventually get started on the center console on the Elco and button up some stuff with that. I'm not sure when the wiring kit, when I'm going to order that, but it definitely needs to be wired up or rewired. And then also waiting to hear back from the guy. I know the package got delivered with the gauge cluster, so eventually order the digital dash for the Monte, and yeah, we're getting close. We're getting close, but that's about it for now. Have a few more months, like I said, Clash of G Body Garage, so have a few more months. Let's see. July 13th. That's the deadline for this thing. So we'll make it happen. All right, one last thing. I thought I was gonna have to go out and buy new fittings, but I forgot the kit actually came with adapters, so we'll be good there. Just need to still get them flared, but it came with the right size adapters I needed, and then the stainless steel kit came with the fittings I needed for the other side, or the 1/4 inch, the 3/16. It came with it, so we're good there. I was actually in the store earlier talking about I didn't want to buy the adapters because of how it looked, but since it came with it, I'll just run it that way.